just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. I came from Philly, then I moved to Harrisburg. Spent time in Cali, blowing on the rarest herb. Made some bread, was a manager then. Good at dealing with people, couldn't handle the pen. Money had me scrambling like Randall back then. Ups and downs with my chick, hard to handle it, man. What's the dough really mean without family and love? Still go for your dreams, but put family above all the shallow shit. People try to take you off your path, you don't allow that shit. Stop wanting love from those that don't know you. Appreciate your folks that seen what you go through. Why would I stop? I don't even know how. Papa Zan, that's the only way I'll slow down. I could entertain y'all, but I'm no clown. Puff and puff on that L till it blows down. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. Just living my life.
Yeah. Little Vito intro music. How do you like that?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Positive.
Yeah, it's very
positive.
positive. I like it. Makes me. I say it's like because he's originally a Philly dude, but he's still a huge Eagles fan, and I'm not a big Eagle guy, but it is. It's like that's like a Rocky theme song. Like you're in the gym listening to that, and you're running on a treadmill. Like you're like, yo, I can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight somebody this weekend. I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna
It's
fight
like
for everything I want.
It's like a motivator.
It is. It's a very motivating song. That's why it's our intro music. I like it. But yeah, if you guys like what you hear, obviously check all the links below for everything we're going to talk about today. If you are a regular viewer of the show, or if you're someone who cross watches shows, so if you like, Not Cool in High School, or if there's a few people out there that kind of tune into everything. You've been on the show before.
I have.
With Not Cool in High School.
Yeah.
I think twice, right?
I believe twice, yeah.
Yeah. Were you ever on a Bang of Beers?
That's what it was. I was on Bang of Beers once and
Not Cool in High School once.
Not Cool in High School.
So
we did a bunch of IPAs on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're on obviously interviews.
Yeah,
So
3 out of 4.
you got to start watching wrestling, and we'll sneak in one time, do the
If
trifecta.
we do like 90s to early 2000s wrestling, I'll be like, yo, let me get this.
Yeah. So give us a quick intro.
Oh, God.
For people who haven't seen the other shows, give us your name and a little bit about you here.
All right. Well, my name is James Murphy. I am from here. I work in a prison, and I do music, and I write poetry and books, and I play video games, like a ton of video games. That's what I do.
Born and raised in School County?
Yeah, Pottsville.
Yeah. Nice. We met a while ago, but it was like one of those things we met, and we were like cool with each other, but we didn't really like hang out.
Right.
We met when you were working with GameStop.
Yep.
Yeah, and we would just kind of go in there, and I was one of those customers who hung out for like 3 hours, and we just bullshit about video games. And
I miss those days.
it was literally the Not Cool in High School podcast in a video game store.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's the idea of the show. Like, it's just that you just get a bunch of people together who have like-minded interests, and we talk about stuff, and that's why I enjoy doing those shows.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard because like I talk to people like my fiance. She does not game much. Like she likes BioShock. She's a huge fan of BioShock, but other than that, that's not it. So I go home and I'm like, yo, the new Monster Hunter expansion just came out, and I spent 3 hours trying to kill this thing, and she's like, oh, that's great. Like, can we talk about something else now?
Yeah.
Like,
and everyone, and the cool thing about Not Cool in High School is everyone is a nerd with its own topic. Oh, I have the beer burps already. But yeah, so like that's the cool thing about the show now. Like everyone kind of has their own little niche. Like I have like Steve Miller's on the show from Gorilla Pack.
Yeah.
And he's like a tabletop game guy, Dungeons and Dragons, Malifaux, and then Jason's kind of into those B-rated horror, exploitation films. Like he likes that kind of stuff. Ben is into like the anime. Andy's a little bit in the anime, but more the comic books and stuff. And then we're all video game players, and then I'm kind of like the video game pop culture nerd. So it's fun, man. It's a really cool time. But when you were on before, we talked about like your video game stream.
Yes.
So how's that going?
To be honest with you, I still kind of haven't gotten back into it.
Okay.
Partially because my computer is still in the shop. I was just talking to Intel today because their processor that I bought from them is not wasn't working. It's defective, and I'm still waiting for it to be replaced. They kept saying, I don't know how a company that makes these things, like makes processors, can tell me that they have none. That's the problem right now, is they say they don't have any in stock. So I'm waiting for a refund from them. And here's the funny thing. I talked to the store today where my computer is at, and they said that they're not even giving me back my full refund. Like, I paid $530 for this processor, and the refund check is for $499. What? I don't get it.
So now I know there's like two different. What kind of processor?
I have an i9 9900K.
By who?
Intel.
And then the other one's what, AMD or something? Like there's like two different.
The other one is AMD.
Yeah, they're like the Microsoft Sony.
Right. Yeah. AMD has better processors. That's
really?
for sure. Yeah. They just like, they're better at making them, and it gets all into this crazy nerd shit that half the people watching probably won't understand. But like, they have this different architecture where Intel is still at like 12 nanometers and AMD's down to 7.
Yeah, I don't know any of this.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, but Intel, it's like, so AMD's cramming a lot more cores into theirs. Like the newest one has like 16 cores, 32 threads. That's crazy. That's huge. Yeah. But like, just because they have more doesn't mean they necessarily work better. Mm-hmm. So for stuff, if you're doing like creative stuff like Photoshop, video editing, AMD processors, that's the way to go. But for gaming, you want to go Intel for mostly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's good to know. I'm actually looking to get a new laptop here. So before I purchase, I'm gonna consult you here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I want to be able to video edit, maybe game. Obviously, it's mostly for editing, but I also want to be able to stream. Not stream the game and play it and stream it, but like go to the console, route it to the computer, and then use that as the streaming box. Yeah, or like live stream our stuff.
Yeah,
because it'd be really cool to do like live streaming the banging beers and stuff. Because then I don't have to video edit them. It's all done there.
Right.
Yeah. I want to be able to do like where I'm streaming it and I hit a button and have our logo with the music playing. And then hit the button and the logo goes away, and then it's like what normal streamers do. Like, and then once it's done recording, it's up to YouTube, and we're done.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
Stream Decks, man.
Yeah.
Stream Deck is good. Elgato makes really good products for that. I have an Elgato.
I bought for the, Black Friday, I picked up an Elgato HD60. I picked up a Camlink, the 4K Camlink. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, cool, I can start doing this. And then I put it on the computer, and they're like, no, your USB ports are way too old. None of this is going to work. And your computer's not strong enough to do any of it. So I was like, well, I have the pieces now. I just got to upgrade that. So we're there. We're just not all the way there yet.
Yeah, it was surprising because like I was reading about doing that's why I have two PCs, so I can use one strictly as a streaming. Mm-hmm. So
and the other one plays.
Right, because it takes the workload. Like if you're streaming on one, the workload is all on that computer.
Yep.
It's very processor intensive to stream, and then your video card is obviously running the game. Mm-hmm. So if I take the processor, the stream to a different computer, then that frees out the entire processor and the video card to just run the game.
Yep.
While that one just runs the stream. So
yeah, I'm going to run the game through the system, mm-hmm. and then the computer doing the stream. That's my goal.
Yeah, that should be easy with
then the
that
computer,
setup.
I would just have the system plugged into it, plug up our board, everyone's mic'd up, and we could do like live stream. Like what I'd want to do is like certain at nights, like play like Drunk Mario Kart or like Jack Party Box,
awesome.
And we all kind of like sit around and play and do a live stream for it, or like Madden tournaments and Street Fighter tournaments.
I was just thinking about Madden the other day. It's been so long since I played.
I tried to play the new one. I'm not good at it. I took too much time off.
See, that was my problem too, because like back in I still got it, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But back in like 04, 05, I was ranked like top 25 on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And then I was playing so much, and my friends would come over, wouldn't play with me anymore because I'd beat them like fucking 50 to nothing. And then
I used to be good. I used to be really
like
good.
18 or 19, I think, and my nephew was like, "Yo, you've been out of play for so long." He's like, "Let's play a game," and I'm like, "All right, cool." Like. He picked the Vikings, and I picked my team. I picked the Falcons, and he thought he was going to win, and I beat him like 51-24.
Yeah.
I was like, I still got it, man. He can't, I'm not going to forget it.
Yeah.
The game has changed, though, a lot since back then.
It moves a lot different. Hit sticks, you got to be right on top of them. You can't cheese hit sticks.
It was great to be a Falcons fan back then, because all I had to do was pick Michael Vick, pretend like I was going to pass, and then just run every time.
Yeah.
Because he had 100 speed. How do you catch it? You don't.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember the GameStop tournaments. I would either win or come in second almost every time.
Mm-hmm.
Except like the very last year you guys did it, I didn't do very well. And that was the year that the Niners were like God team. You couldn't do anything to them. if Frank Gore took an outside pitch, you couldn't stop it.
Speaking of football, good Lord, these games this past week.
Ooh, it's a good playoff season.
Yeah.
Who are you rooting for now?
I don't even know, like, because I'm so like conflicted. I mean, my team's not in it. I really wanted to see Lamar Jackson go all the way, just because I feel like he deserves it.
Yep. He ain't going anywhere though. That team's gonna be good for a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that blew my mind. I really didn't think they were going to lose like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Titans handled them.
Yes.
Handled them. And I still want to see Mahomes at least get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because I really like him as a quarterback. I think his game knowledge is ridiculous. I mean, did you see that one play? I think it was earlier this year where he was scrambling out of the pocket and he looked behind him to see if the ref threw a flag to know if he needed to try on this run. Like, if not, he was just going to run out of bounds.
Yeah.
But he saw the ref didn't throw a flag, so he booked it for like 15 yards. It's like, that's insane to have that much awareness to look to see if there's a flag. Beer burps. Woo.
Beer burps.
To see if there's a flag to like, it's just insane. And I feel like he's so good and he deserves at least a shot at it.
I want Kansas City, Green Bay, Super Bowl.
I feel like, I mean, I haven't really kept up with the stats so much, and I'm not a Pack fan by any means. I don't hate them, but and I know Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, but I feel like
that'd be fun.
I feel like he's like, I mean, again, I don't know, but I feel like he's not as like glorious this year.
Yeah, I want KC to win it all.
I'm a fan of the underdog. I just looked up yesterday because I was like, I don't really know divisions too well. So I was like, it'd be really cool, the Texans and the Titans. I was really like, they're in the same fucking division.
Yeah.
So that can't happen. But I think that the Titans kind of deserve it. I mean, they've beaten everything by a landslide.
They beat the Vikings, they beat the Steelers, and they beat the Patriots to get in here. So that's not easy to do.
Derrick Henry is literally going off.
Yeah.
Like, he had 30 carries yesterday for 195 yards. That's absurd.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember we were at a brewery this weekend, and I remember we walked in the brewery, and I looked at the TV, and I was like, holy fuck, the Kansas City's getting their ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then, like, 13 seconds later, it's a tie game. Yeah. And I was like, what? I turned for 2 seconds, and then they just turned it on.
Yeah.
No one had a shot after that.
I seen this meme today on Facebook. It was like, who was it? Travis Kelce talking to Pat Mahomes. He was like, it'd be great if we let them score 24 points and then we turn it on.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. But, so since you were last on, new house. I guess you just got your new house the last time you were on. We talked about it.
Yeah.
And then... Baby on the way.
Baby on the way.
The third? Are we allowed to talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
All right. And then trying to think of how you were going through some stuff, with work. Is that all taken care of? Like some medical stuff you're going through?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's all taken care of. I don't know what. I don't even know what it was, to be honest with you.
Blacked out or fainted or something?
It was like I just got. They felt like I had a stroke.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like I was having. My blood pressure is super through the roof. It was like 160 over 115. It was ridiculous. And like I remember the reason why I went to go get checked out is I picked up something. I was trying to redo a trainee. And I looked at it like right here. And I'm like, I see that there's words there, but I don't know what the fuck it says. Like I couldn't read it this far from my face. I'm just like, I need to go get looked at. But it was like I was getting dizzy no matter what. Like if I moved my head any sort of way, I was getting dizzy. Like I had to go to physical therapy to retrain. They said my left inner ear was really bad. To retrain it not to like totally destroy my equilibrium anytime I moved around.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was crazy.
And then you're good now?
Yeah.
Worked it all out?
Oh, yeah.
But still really didn't figure out what the main cause was?
No, they had no idea.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, isn't it?
You're like, oh.
I told them, I told everybody, I was like, I kind of wish they would have just found something on my MRI so I knew what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. Well, as long as you're good. How long has it been since then? Like, no symptoms, no nothing?
Well, I went back to work at, on November 11th. Good since? Yeah, pretty much.
Good.
Nothing like it was.
Yeah.
And
now your main project now that you got going on, you're working on a book?
I'm working on a book, yeah.
So what is the premise of this book?
Oh, man, where do I even start? Because, I have such grandiose ideas for everything that I try to do because I
hear you.
I am, yeah. I am not like, Here's my thing.
You're all or nothing.
This is going to get kind of spiely here, but this is what I think. Like in anything, I try to be the best I can do. When I was in Aaron Charles writing lyrics, I tried to write the best lyrics that I could, and a lot of the stuff that I wrote for them was things that have happened to me, but I wanted to write them and in such a way where people can pick up these lyrics and be like, yo, this shit happened to me. Like, I can get behind this. And that was my forefront. Like, I wanted people to go out there and read these lyrics.
Be relatable.
Right. So, and the same thing I'm doing with this book. It's called the Saga of Eternal War. It's a fantasy novel set in like medieval times, and swords, no dragons, nothing like that. Good Lord, these beer burps, man. The beer's so good though.
This is Spruce Willis. We're drinking a Dew Claw Brewing Company Spruce Willis Yippee-ki-yay motherfucker. It's an ale brewed with spruce tips, so there's actually a tree in here.
There is actually a tree in there.
Yeah,
and it tastes like a tree.
Yeah,
but a good tree.
Yeah, it's a good tree.
Yeah. So, fantasy, swords, shields, bows, all that stuff, and there is gonna be magic. Not like, I mean, I this is probably like, not nerd of me to admit, but I have never watched a single episode of Game of Thrones.
I watched 2 seasons.
Pretty good.
I enjoyed it, but I just didn't keep going.
Fair enough. I have a really hard time with episodic shows.
Did you watch Witcher yet?
I started to, yeah. Me and Kate were actually watching it, and then she fell asleep.
I watched the fucking corniest stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go on Netflix. I want to find something new. And then it's like, I go through it, and then I end up landing on a documentary, or I land on a comedy special I've seen 14 times, or I just start rewatching The Office. And I never pick up anything new.
The Office is great, though.
I just started watching the show The Circle. It's like a reality show. It's fucking corny, but it's really fucking good. It's like once you start, you're gonna feel stupid watching it, but it's crack. Yeah,
I have to try it because we're looking for new stuff. Like we watched, Kate and I. We watched. God, like my words are gone. Oh, the R. Kelly documentary.
Oh my God, how crazy! They said a part 2's out now.
Really?
It's on TV. It's not on Netflix yet, but it's on TV.
Like I told my one buddy, like that lives with me, Sam. I was like, I just want to go up there. Like I want to get some guns, break into that studio in Chicago, and be like, let's go. We're leaving. You're not going to be a slave to this lifestyle no more. Like,
but a lot of them don't. Like the one girl was saved and she went back.
Right. And then she went back out again.
Yeah.
Like, but like, I mean, I guess I can understand it because I'm sure that he's not lacking for money. So like, they're probably getting like when they're not getting pissed on and treated bad, they're probably getting treated really well.
Well, now that maybe he's in jail, it's not as terrible. Like,
true.
But when he was in jail, like they couldn't leave a room. They had to shit in a bucket.
It was absurd.
It's crazy.
Absurd.
And I guess now I didn't see the new one yet, but they were kind of talking about it at work, and they said the new one is now, I guess, like a few of the girls, like I think majority of the ones that the parents are really trying to get find. They pinpointed them all now, not in Chicago. They're all in New York, and they're living in Trump Towers.
What?
Yes. So I guess R. Kelly hadn't really nowhere to live, like because he lost all of his estates, he lost everything, and the only place that was welcoming to them was Trump Tower.
Good Lord.
So Trump is now involved in the R. Kelly. My hotel's huge. There's girls shitting in buckets from R. Kelly.
But we have the best buckets.
They are the greatest buckets ever.
The buckets that we have, they're phenomenal. Oh man.
What can I say? He makes great music.
Yeah. Just fantastic music. The best music, actually. Oh my God.
I'm trying to get him out of jail. Yeah, so that I didn't see it yet, but I heard it's out there. I gotta check it out.
I gotta check it out too, for
so
sure.
Yeah, back to your
a
little bit of magic, no dragons.
Right,
book.
And it's not like your typical take on magic. Like when people think magic, I'm sure the first thing that pops in their head is Harry Potter.
I'm in a world of Skyrim, but no dragons right now. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. There is, like I said, it's fantasy, so obviously there is some fantasy about it. I don't want to give too much away, but like the thought that I put into this, the effort, like the writing, and I've spent some nights, like sometimes I get an idea and I write a little bit at work, sometimes I'm up till like 2 a.m. just writing and editing and writing and editing, but like there's so much that I put into this. Like each city in this world that I've created, has its own people has its own look, has its own like culture, even has their own god. There's like a system of gods that I put in, like a religion.
Oh, wow.
Like I'm going all in with this, you know, and I want people,
A lot of side quests.
Yeah, a lot of side quests. And I want people to.
Do you throw Easter, like being in there, do you throw like little Easter eggs and stuff
Yes.
in there? Nice.
Yes. Yep. There's gonna be a few of those, and we'll just let it up to the people
Like
to find out.
the great warrior who is now a teacher because he took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. Like I have some stuff planned, and when I'm writing, I think of more things, or sometimes I talk to people about like a part that I'm not necessarily stuck on, but I kind of want to do better. And then they're like, "Oh, well, have you ever thought about doing this?" And I'm like, "Yo." You know what I mean? So,
do you ever incorporate like friends or family in it yet as like kind of hidden characters?
Yes. Yes.
I'm just thinking. Yes. I'm just going as if I was doing what you're doing. That's all the stuff I would probably try to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. And my so like I said, it's just so much. Like I want people. My whole goal with this is that I want people to be able to get behind this like they do with Harry Potter, because they're insane Harry Potter fans.
Yeah.
Like they'll go to the movie and wait at 10 o'clock the next day or the day before to see this movie at midnight, and it might be packed. They have no idea if they're going to get in. That's the type of shit that I want from my book.
You want to build that universe.
I want to build that universe that people get attached to. I want them to have like this favorite obscure part of this book that maybe, if it ever makes into a movie, they'll be pissed that it doesn't make it into the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the type of shit that I want to be. And I feel like I also bring like a different, because a lot of authors are just authors, a lot of, they read a bunch of different books, but like I've had experience doing the whole band thing and writing lyrics for that. And then I'm 30 now, so I have like 27 years worth of video games that I've played, because I got my first one when I was 3. So I want to be able to bridge the gap between people who read and people who play games. And I want them to be like, on both sides, be like, this is a good fucking book.
Yeah.
So.
And you have a page for it right now, right?
I do, yeah.
And you kind of put little teasers out here and there.
Yeah, I decided to, at the moment, this is what I'm doing with it. There is, every so often I'm writing little tidbits about the world. There's probably one coming out, I would say, by Wednesday.
Do you have like a map drawn of the world? I'm
going to. It's in the process now. I have one of my people working on it. I have an artist that is already working with me, and she also did my stream stuff for my stream on Twitch, and so she's working on it.
Who's the artist?
You know what? I actually don't know how to tell you who she is. Her name is Cersei. That's her like online name.
Oh, so you met her online?
I do, yeah. She used to play some games with me and my friends, and she's actually a graphic designer and read up a contract and stuff like that. So I'll have to figure out how I can get her information. I'm sure she has a website. So
yeah, I'll put it in the description.
I just talk right to her, so I'll have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, let her know you did this, and then I'll put her stuff on the page.
Yeah,
people can check it out.
So she's working with that, with the map, and she did once you go to the page, you'll see the like the title of the book. It has like like she made the logo for it.
Do you have is the title out for people?
Yeah, it's the Saga of Eternal War.
The Saga of Eternal War.
Yep.
Okay.
That was really hard to decide on the name because but I feel like that kind of encompasses the idea behind it. But what I'm doing right now with the book is there is so the main character of the book at this point in time is not alive yet. This is what I'm doing right now is called Dead Drop Letters. They're from the mother of the main character of the books. And there's a war going on, obviously, right now during the time when these Dead Drop Letters are coming out. And she's running for her life. And when she gets the opportunity to, she writes letters down and places them somewhere in hopes that if the world survives, someone will find this, read what she's writing about, and steer clear in the next era. The time zones are eras that I set up. So she's writing about the things that are happening, the destruction of the world, the things that she's accompanying.
Did she write in the previous letter where her next, where she's traveling, so someone could find the next one?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. And there is with those, there's 2 of those out right now, Dead Drop Letter 1 and Dead Drop Letter 2. The third one, I'm hoping, will be out by Friday. And for the people who have read the first 2, there's a little bit of a surprise. I think. A little bit of a surprise. I realize now that the time is going to be off for this, but
Yeah.
that's okay. But like, yeah, it's going to change a lot drastically, because I got an idea again from somebody talking about how I'm writing this third letter, and they're like, well, why don't you do this? And I'm like, you know, and I want to keep people interested. I mean, the people that have read this one, I know, and I've actually sent out a copy to a couple people before I actually put it online for people to read, and they're like, yo, this is fucking awesome. I can't wait for the next one. Like, I was so sad. The one person said, I was so sad when I realized I had read the last paragraph, and I'm like, thanks, that's great. You know, that's exactly what I want, for people to be like, yo, give me more, and I'm like, but that's gonna happen. It's all coming, and I'm gonna be putting out one of those Dead Drop letters probably every month until the book comes out, and I hope to have the book out by like July, August
This year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you were making this universe, is there like a universe that we could already kind of put our heads into that you're kind of inspired from?
God, there's so much. There's so much. There's so many different things,
like elements.
Yeah, so much. Like, because I'm all about like these fantasy worlds and stuff like that, and it's actually kind of crazy. Before I answer that fully, I'm gonna tell you about how I came up with this idea. Now, I used to work at Lowe's, not the distribution center, the store here in Pottsville, and I worked with this girl. She was a head cashier. Her name is Sesha, and Sesha was a author already. She had written this book called like the Elemental series. And I was like, all right, well, like, give me a copy of that. I'll read it. And I'm like, this is good. I mean, it's not, it was kind of like a
romance,
a book novel of a chick flick. A book, like if you could put a chick flick into a book, that's what it was, So
it had fantasy elements.
Right, yeah. And it wasn't for me, but I liked it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and she had a contract with like a publishing company. And I'm like, yo, I mean, not that this was easy, but if it was this easy, why can't I do it? So she told me all about this in one day, and then I worked like about a 10-hour shift at Lowe's the one day, and I came up with the plot of the book in 10 hours. And I know that's crazy, but I came up with not only the plot of the book, but 4 books. Like, this is going to be now 5, because I came up with the 5th one later, but there's going to be 4 books. 5. But in this day, I came up with 4 of them. And I was just like, yo, this is fucking awesome. I got home and I messaged Sesha and I was like, hey, do you have a minute? She's like, yeah, why, what's up? I was like, listen, I was just at work today and I thought about this whole plot for a book, for 4 books in my 10-hour shift today. And she's like, all right, well, hit me with it. So I typed it all out quick and I sent it over to her. And I felt like an idiot because she didn't respond for like an hour and a half. And I'm like, I'm sitting here. It's like one of those things where you're waiting for your peers to judge you, and you're like, oh, shit, what did she say? And then she comes back, and she's like, that was fucking awesome. And I already took the liberty to message my publishing agent, and she said that if you can write this as good as it sounds, you'll have a contract.
Nice.
And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. So, but that was like 8 years ago.
Yep.
That was about 8 years ago. So, because I wrote about 3 or 4 chapters of the book, and I was telling people about it, and it was good, and then life happened.
Well, if this motivates you at all, my first podcast I ever did, you can only hear the pilot if you go on Spotify or Anchor. It's only audio. You can't get on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to hear the very, very first pilot episode I've ever did, interview with somebody, it's the very first, on the streaming services. That interview happened, and 4 years later is when I started the podcast. So it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time.
It definitely did. And I'm so excited about it because like it means a lot to me. And it's finally something that I get to like fully use my creativity, fully use my writing skills. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be like, I plan to include a map with the first book, so people know like where everything is happening. That's where the map comes in.
They could follow her journey.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, and there's going to be like I'm getting character portraits drawn for every major character that needs to be described, just so there's no, because I feel like descriptions in books only go so far.
Yeah.
And they can do very well, but like if I can give you a picture, that's even better. So that's the plan. There's just so much that I want to put into it, and I'm very passionate about it, and like I just, you know, I guess I'll use this to say if there's anybody out there who really likes fantasy books that wants to read some stuff before I send it out, you know, hit me up.
You can get a he's literally telling you could have a preview.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
here's something.
Yeah.
This is just an idea. Maybe do a couple previews, get some buzz. Mm-hmm. Did you ever think of doing like a Patreon or a Kickstarter?
No.
Where if you do like a Kickstarter, like, hey, you know, I'll put the first 4 or 5 drops on, and if you kickstart this and help me, you know, if you do like a $5 kickstart, a $10 Kickstarter, or a Patreon, or, you know, $20 or $100, I'll send you anything. I'll send you the first book now, because if you have it done, for like $100 donation, and then like once you donate, you get the other four books for free. If you're like, because like it's like a Kickstarter thing, like incentive, like when someone's doing like a video game, like I paid $15 for the Friday the 13th video game, and then it came out. It was a $6 game, and I got it for $15 because I kickstarted 4 years before it happened.
Right.
Just an idea to put out there.
Yeah,
it does cost money to pay your artists, and it does cost money to do all of that stuff. So
I never thought about it like that, and I guess that would be good for. Yeah, especially because I was already looking into publishing fees and copyright fees and all that stuff. But that's actually a good idea too, because I don't mind like giving people that, like, even like, I know it's nothing right now, but like it could be signed copies of books and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I never even thought about it.
Let's give that a shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into it when I go home.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of the basis of it. I don't want to give too much out because like there's going to be so much to read. Like, I mean, just these dead drop letters some of them are like 15, 20-minute reads, and that's, you know, maybe not a lot for some people who like to read, but that's just one letter, you know, and like expect chapters of this book to be that long.
If this is giving something away, you can tell me, but is the main character finding these drop letters, or has someone else already found them? Can't tell. All right. So my brain's already in your universe.
Yeah.
You kind of have me hooked. That's cool.
Yeah.
There you go, people.
I mean, you might find the answer to that in this next letter. You may.
Now, where can people find the drop letters on Facebook? Like on Facebook, correct?
Yeah. They're straight up on Facebook. I am looking into making a blog website, but like, you know what? I keep forgetting about Tumblr. That Tumblr is a thing.
Yeah. It was only good when it had porn.
Right, yeah. And now it doesn't.
No one cares.
No one cares. And I tried to like use I forget what website I went to try to make a blog, but it was so fucking like.
A lot of people say like, how come you don't have a website? And I'm like, man, they're cool, but I feel like no one goes to websites, because you go to websites and you get hit with 15 ads, and people, fuck this, I'm not doing a website.
Right.
That's why I just do the Facebook and Instagram, because I feel like people, it's less. It's less in your face.
Right. And it's basically free marketing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought about making like an actual blog, but the one I looked at was way too complex for me to even want to try. So, yeah, it'll all be up on Facebook.
If you ever want to do audio recordings, let me know. I can let you borrow some equipment.
Yeah. You know, because a lot of people, one of my friends from Georgia told me that, you know, he likes to listen to a lot of books. So audio books. So eventually.
And you have a good voice. You'd be able to read them.
Yeah. I would like to eventually make it an audiobook.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I have the equipment to help record you. My services are free.
Okay.
So I'll help you out with it. You just bring your own SD card.
Fair.
I'll pop it right in the back. So the cool thing with this new one.
Yeah.
So last time he was here, I had all dog shit equipment. Like he walked in, he's like, "Wow, this is all brandy new mics, new everything." But this one's cool because you pop the SD card in, and this is battery powered, USB powered, or AC adapter powered.
It's very
so like if I go somewhere and they're like no power, I can do at least a 3-hour show before I have to change the battery. That's fucking dope.
That is pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
What like double A's, D's,
double A's.
Wow.
AA batteries.
That's it.
Yep. So what I went out and I bought a pack of like 8 AA rechargeables, and I have 4 sitting in here. Actually, I got 16 because I have 4 sitting in here, 4 sitting in the Zoom H6, which I didn't even show you yet. We'll show you off camera. And then I can just do a show, pause it, stop it, pop new batteries in if you ever need it. I mean, I'm not ever going to record long enough than the battery needs.
Right.
And then take those batteries, throw them in a wall mount, throw them on the thing, and then my batteries, I'm not buying batteries every
Holy shit.
6 months.
That's
yeah.
fucking awesome, actually.
Yeah, but yeah, you just throw an SD card in this, record it, records right to an SD card, and then you're done. And then each track is its own file. So like now,
Really?
before we were all on one audio file. So if your mic was making a weird thing or yours was too loud, well, this is all plus gain equalizing too. So it automatically realizes where it needs to be, and it doesn't let you go higher than that, which is dope as shit too. Like this board is amazing.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
actually.
it's so nice. And then, like I said, I have all the touch pads and stuff. There's so much cool shit you can do. You can do music on this too. You can put a click track in.
Really?
You can have this set up so if you have a guitar, drums, and like something else in here, I can turn it so if your headphones are plugged in, right? This is your monitoring. So you're listening and you're playing bass, and you don't need to hear the singer, and you don't need to hear the guitarist because all you want to hear is a drummer. I can set your headphones up that you only listen to this track of the drummer, so you're more in teeth.
What?
I can help out. Like you can do music here too. It's crazy.
crazy.
This board's amazing. Yeah, Zoom L6 Live Track 6. Zoom, if you're looking to sponsor your boy, just do it. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff, man. So I'm pumped for it. So where can people find you on Facebook? Would that put?
I think the at, you at people, it's called the hold on, I gotta think about it. TSOEW book is what it's called, at TSOEW book. Or you could just, search the Saga of Eternal War. It'll come up. I post about it often, and you can look me up, James Denaari Murphy II. You can look me up, find it through there, because I'm sure it'll list, if you go on my profile, it'll list the pages that I'm part of.
Yeah.
So you can find it there.
And everything will be in the links below as well. So just remember to send them to me. Just click down there. And hit subscribe while you're there too. For God, for the love of God.
Subscribe.
Hit that subscribe. It costs you nothing.
Nothing. Literally a click. Energy.
And if you're that guy who's going and thumbs downing all my videos, I love you. You're awesome.
Hey.
He literally goes and thumbs down every single. He's putting work in.
Good talk or bad talk, it's still talk.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
Actually, I want to start a petition where, like, even if you like it, hit thumbs down so he loses that power.
That's good.
And then I could be the most thumbs down content on YouTube, but I'm still making it. And it'd be like a fun thing. Like, everyone thumbs down it, because then he just gets
That's the new
drowned
thing now. People are going to go, they'll catch that, and then now we're like, don't like my video. Dislike this video.
Yes, please dislike all my videos. Just so that guy has no power. Or girl.
He will have no power here.
Yeah. Because I don't care. I'm still going to keep making content. You can thumbs it down all you want.
I wonder why. Does he have like a personal vendetta?
I have no idea who it is. And of course, the people who do that are never going to tell you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, listen, if I'm doing something that bad that you wait till I upload a new one, if you're fully watching it, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're like, thumbs down, message me. I want to know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, like, is it part of my production? Like the audio not good?
Yeah, I know a lot of people bust my balls because I'm in a kitchen. They don't like the background of the kitchen. But we're working on it. So behind the scenes, we're going to put curtains up. We're gonna drill it into the wall there, and drill it in the wall there, and then from there to there. So it's gonna be like a giant L, and it's gonna be like a giant gray curtain, so it doesn't look like a kitchen. And then we'll have like the backdrop, like if me and you are sitting here, this it'll be like a wall tapestry of the Interviews Everyday People logo. So then it looks like a studio.
That's fair.
I'm still in a kitchen because I don't have the money.
And like, fuck you if you say otherwise. Really?
Yeah.
Like,
you don't like my microwave?
You're not out here doing this.
Hey, where's your content? I want to thumbs down yours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't make any content.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, your book.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's coming, Like I said, hopefully by July, August. I was going to say June prior, but now baby. So,
Is your baby going to be in the book?
You know what? I haven't really given it thought. I don't know.
Just name the baby, name a character like the third.
I could.
That'd be cool.
I could. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
Everything is up for grabs right now because the book is not done, and I continue to write. And, you know, sometimes I have an idea in my head and then I get there and somebody either says something, or it could be like completely non-related. Like I could be playing a new video game and some obscure character has nothing to do with the plot says like a simple word. And I'm like, yo,
I want to use that word.
yeah. And then I'm like, I build and sit around this word. Like it's just, it's crazy how things like come to me.
So what book do the dragons finally come?
The third.
It's like the Game of Thrones. Where are the dragons coming?
Yeah. Like, no, but I think people will be pleasantly surprised with the magic that happens. Yeah. And of course, you know, like, I mean, I'll give you a little bit more about it. Like, there's going to be, obviously, it's wartime. So, like, death. There's going to be characters dying. There's going to be, like, distrust, you know, all that stuff. There's also, of course, like every good book, it has a romance plot. I don't want to go so far as sex because, like, while it would be...
Deep penetration.
Yeah.
And incest.
Oh, I don't know about that. We're not going to go
orgies.
all the way. Game of Thrones. That's all Game of Thrones stuff.
No orgies?
No.
One orgy.
Maybe.
Like an orgy, like the last character so strong, like they have to have a blood oath orgy, but they're not 13. That's weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
I'm guessing you're mentioning Game of Thrones.
No, that was it.
Yeah.
When in the book the kids have an orgy because they can't be pure to go take on it, and they're told this by a giant turtle.
Like the clown.
Yes, the book, not the movies.
So the 13-year-old kids
have an orgy. You know the bully in the movie?
Yeah.
He rapes his buddy
in the book. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's crazy stuff going on there.
Good lord.
That town of Derry is fucked up.
Yeah.
Steer clear of Derry.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about that, really.
Books are crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of things, and when you're reading it, you know, make sure you keep an open mind, because there's going to be, obviously, like any good author, foreshadowing things and things that will be reoccurring, and you'll see some stuff in like right now in the first book, there's an entire chapter.
Beer.
Yeah, again, I just can't get away from it. There's an entire chapter. Oh my God, stop.
Happens, man. That means it's good.
Yeah, it is very good. An entire chapter in the first book that you probably won't know why it happened until like the second or third.
Tarantino us.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tarantino, I have to watch that fucking movie. I just bought it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You have to get that out of the way. Just bought a bunch of movies. Bought The Joker.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Liked it? Disliked it? Ooh.
I liked it a lot.
Okay. Scared me for a second.
But, like, being a person who has struggled with mental health stuff...
hit you home?
Oh, my God. I was not prepared. I went there and...
Did you root for the Joker?
Yeah. And it's crazy because, like... sorry if that was your foot.
No, you're...
He does things that I find myself doing, and I think that's what scared me the most.
Really?
Yeah, because like when I'm at home or I'm by myself or I don't realize what I'm doing, like sometimes I do like these random little dances and I talk to myself, and like while it's all fun and games, and then you see him doing it with the things he does, and I'm like, I'm a fucking psycho, you know?
Everyone is one bad day away from being the Joker.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody. And
it is a very good movie, in my opinion, and I'm not a movie guy, so I haven't seen a ton of movies, but it's like one of the best movies I've ever seen that what's the word I'm looking for? Translates mental health to the screen.
I ask a lot of people this because I have yet to see it. If they completely erased every element of the Joker out of it, and it was just the movie, but not Joker, no face paint, no clowns, maybe clowns, but just not the Joker, would it still? Do you think would still have the same effect?
Well, that's a difficult question to answer because I don't know how to answer this without like
spoiling.
I don't even want to say spoiling it. Let's just say that I thought that there was going to be more of him in the paint. Doesn't happen often.
Okay.
So that's why it's hard for me to answer your question like that, because
they already said a part 2's coming.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'm sure you do, but if you know like lore about Joker and Batman, you'll be pretty pleased with some things in the movie.
Okay.
But as far as like if the Joker wasn't in it, like I think it probably would hold its weight still.
Yeah.
Because
a lot of people that watched it that know Joker, well, they think they know Joker. They're like, we didn't like it. And I said, why? And they're like, and their exact words were, this movie's too dangerous. It's just not, it's dangerous. And I said, I don't, all right, I can see that, but sometimes a nice cold water to the face is a good thing.
yeah.
But they're like, yeah, we just don't like how they changed the Joker. And then I talked to people who are comic book fans, and they're like, oh, Killing Joke, and how they kind of dive into his origin story. It's there. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
but a lot of people who are not comic book readers, they just think they know Joker because they watched the Heath Ledger movie.
Right.
And they're like, they didn't get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it fucked me up because
Yeah.
like there's parts in the movie where like obviously I mean you've heard and you've seen things I'm sure like the
Yeah.
trailers and stuff like that.
Where he's dancing on the stairs.
Right, and you there's like parts of the movie where you expect him to go off, and you're just like when it happens or when it doesn't happen or whatever, you know, you're just kind of like and then there's one thing, and that fucked me up. And, like, I'm not even going to lie to you. I spent 20 minutes after I saw the movie fucking bawling my eyes out. I bawled my eyes out. I was that fucked up about it. Like,
Yeah.
just even talking about it right now, I'm just like...
if I had to guess without seeing it, I would say majority of the movie is just him eating shit. Just eating shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then he just fucking says, I'm not eating shit anymore. You know, and I guess there's an actual disorder where someone is so uncomfortable or they experience pain or discomfort or displeasure, and their only reaction to it because of their mental disability is to laugh. And I guess they kind of play into that a little bit too.
They do. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in there that are like... Because
They did their homework.
One of the things that I feel like people that don't have mental illness don't realize is society as a whole, and people, you know, like me who suffer from these mental health issues we have to act like we don't have them in public. You know what I mean?
Because you don't want to be judged or be a castaway.
Right. And like we think that sometimes the things that we say to people in like privacy or in you know, whatever that word is, I can't even think of it right now, will be taken out of context.
Yeah.
And then said to the wrong people, and now we're like, here we are, now we're in trouble.
Yeah,
you know?
I was the same way for a long time, and because of this podcast, I don't care anymore. Like, when people talk to me and they're like, oh, you know, I'll use an example without you kind of going into it, so doesn't get me in trouble, I guess. I always get told, like, I think I figured you out. I was like, yeah, probably not. And they're like, no, you're super positive. Like, or sometimes they'll say, like, you're kind of negative. Or I'm like, no, I'm just a very realistic thinker. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm always open to listen to it. But they're like, oh, you're super positive. You're outgoing. You're this. You're that. And I was like, I am maybe now. I said, but I'm not saying I'm faking it, but I'm working hard to be this. My body, like I'm mentally going into overtime to stay positive.
Yep.
Because I'm naturally very negative. I'm naturally very angry. I'm naturally someone who suffers from suicidal tendencies, where I just like, today would be a good day to die, like that. And I was told the normal. This is just what I was told and what I read and looking to, that the normal human brain cannot contemplate themselves dead. Like, your brain only lets you do it for so long and then snaps you out of it. I don't have that. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I can do a whole scenario where I'm dead and how people around me react to it.
Yep.
And it's super morbid, but that's like,
it's the norm.
Yeah. And a lot of people get uncomfortable when I say that. They're like, well, how do you, like, you know, that suicide's selfish? And I'm like, I don't think it is. I just don't. Like, I think, you know, and I'm not saying that it's someone else's fault when someone goes that route, but there's issues there,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
And when you're like, I'm sad or I'm depressed, you have people who just go, oh, they're just doing that for attention, or they're just, no, the people, what I mean, like it's
Right.
there, it's a legit thing.
Or like my favorite is like when you tell somebody you had a bad head day or something. Somebody said to me one time, it's like, we did back in the fucking 70s, man. We just went outside and beat up one of our buddies, and then we were better. Like, it's not that simple.
Yeah, you just passed on your problems to somebody else.
Right.
Yeah,
It's not that simple.
You went and physically assaulted somebody.
Yeah. And whatever. I mean, like the 70s, I mean, not to say that I haven't been in fights before, because I have, but like, it's not that simple. It's not something that you can just be like, you know what? Why the fuck am I sad right now? I'm going to be happy. And then, ding, I'm happy. It doesn't work that way.
And
People,
you said you're 30, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Our generation was a generation. Now, how much did they push Adderall and stuff into your Adderall and Ritalin down our generation's throats in school? Like, your kid's not paying attention for 13 seconds. Let's put him on Ritalin. Yeah. Like,
there was a time where they said that I had oppositional defiant disorder and anger problems. So they threw me on all different types of stuff for a long time, like probably like 2 years back to back. They were just trying to find different medicine to put me on, and I don't even know half the stuff that I was on. But like, what really helped was eventually my aunt ran like a counseling service. She doesn't anymore, in Reading, and I went down and I spoke to somebody there, and I don't know what it was, because I talked to counselors before, and I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever, fuck you, I don't really give a shit. And then I talked to this guy. His name was Jeff, old black guy. And there was something about him that I just, like, after like 2 or 3 things, I just opened up. And
he was probably genuine.
Yeah.
You probably had, because a lot of people who go to work that do those jobs that just go through their emotions, and then you have people who actually give a shit, and that being genuine shines through.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know what it was, but like after that, like my anger was gone. Like I still get angry, don't get me wrong, but like before it was my first reaction, and now it's my last.
Yeah.
And like if I get angry now to a certain point, I cry. I straight up cry like a bitch, because that's my first reaction now. It's like, oh, I'm so fucking angry.
I don't do that, but if I'm at a point where I'm tearing up, it's over.
Yeah.
At that, once the tears are coming, I'm that close to a blackout state, and then from that point on, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That was the thing I went through a lot. Like, I had a situation with my parents, and typical teenage boy, you go through your thing, you're defiant. And my way to solve things, because it was kind of what I was put through myself, is I'm going to fight my way out of it. And I'm not happy until there's violence. And then once I fight you, I'm cool.
Right.
Like, it's one of those things where now I've got it out of my system, water under the bridge. I guess because I was always very, very, very tiny, and I got picked on and bullied and beat up a lot. And then when I got to the point where I kind of got a little bigger, and then I was willing to fight back, nobody wanted to.
Yep.
And then I was like, well, that's kind of fucked up. And they're like, well, you're kind of nuts. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I want to do this. And they're like, no, we're good. Yeah. So like, and I would take it out on people who probably didn't deserve it. Or maybe not. But yeah, I got to a point where the one time I just started crying. Like, I got to the point where I was in tears. Some stuff happened, and then I came to on the railroad tracks and was afraid to go home because I don't know what I did. I had scratches all over me. I was bleeding, and I was like, don't know if this is mine or somebody else's. How do I go home right now? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's scary. Like, yeah. But
yeah, that was a big thing too, because like I got picked on a lot in middle school and like even the early years of high school. But then I bulked up. I played freshman football. Mm-hmm. I was like 210 pounds my freshman year, and then people didn't want any part of me. And then I would tell them, there's this one dude in high school who I won't name. I still hate his guts. If you're out there and you know who you are, fuck you. But he was talking shit to one day, like in the hallway, with his buddies. And then
everyone's tough with friends.
Oh yeah. Then he walks by me, and I just grabbed him by the collar of his shirt, and I put him up against the wall, and I was like, "You gonna fucking say that shit in front of me, or,
Are we moving on?
Yeah, are we moving on?" He's like, "Put me down, put me down." I'm like, "I'm asking you a fucking question. Like, you're gonna answer it before I put you down. Are you gonna say that shit in front of me, or are you gonna shut your fucking mouth?" And he's like, "All right, whatever, man. I'll stop. So I put him down. He walks away, and then he gets halfway down the hallway and starts fucking calling me names again. I'm like, "You're a pussy." Yeah. You're a straight pussy. Like, that's like,
Before you talk shit, go clean this shit out of your underwear.
Yeah. Like, for real. And, like, typically now, like, what I tell people when I first meet them is, like, you have to try very hard to get me angry, but once you do, I'm evil.
Yeah.
I will go to no lengths to make you suffer. And the first key that's happening is my mouth. Because, like, I will, if you're pissing me off, I may get a little ornery, but like, you know what, man, you're kind of fucking pissing me off. Like, you need to go and check yourself. But then, like, there's a line. And once that line is crossed, the first thing that comes to my mind is the first thing coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And I've said some really nasty shit to people.
Oh, yeah, I go right for the throat.
Oh, yeah.
What I tend to do is because I'm like, was bullied, but I became a really good smartass as well. So when people are all like, oh, what I start doing is making fun of you. And then and I'm laughing as you're making fun of me. And I'm just trying to get you as angry as I am. Mm-hmm. So then you do swing. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm egging you on at this point because I want to see what you're made of. And that's my start.
Yeah.
And then if you don't, then I just walk away. Yeah.
Not a proud moment, but I'll give you an example of me like kind of going off the handle with my mouth. There's this chick that I had met. God, I was probably 13, and we were like sort of involved as much as you could be for 13-year-olds, you know.
Over the pants hand jobs.
Yeah, kind of stuff like that. But then, like, she got sent away.
Hi, Mom. No.
She got sent away to this thing and then came back, and then we were kind of a thing like around.
They're the best girls when they get sent away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Came back, and she was like...
That's the weirdest thing I've ever said. I'm sorry. I was just trying to be funny. You know, those girls.
She came back, and then we were kind of like a thing again, like right as I was 18 or 19 or something. And then she was like, hey, I'm moving to Pittsburgh. And I'm like, all right, see ya. You know? And then she was out there. She moved out there. She's like, yo, it's great out here. You should come out here and be with me. And
You're
I'm like
13.
I'm like, well, no, this is probably like 18, when I was 18 or 19. And I'm like, I got a car. I got my family out here. I got my job. Like, I got a life out here. Like, I'm not just going to up and leave just because you want me to leave. And I don't really like you like that. You know, and she's
Which
like,
is good because most guys would be like, if I drive out there, I'm gonna get vagina. I'm throwing it all away.
Yeah, listen. I mean, I would drive a couple hours for that, not 6. If we're being honest, and not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
But she was like, no, come on, it's for real. Like, you need to come out here. It'll be all right. Like, I moved out here with nothing. And I said, I'm not you. Like, I have stuff. I don't want to move out there with nothing.
Yeah.
And then she's like, fuck you. You're an immature piece of shit. You won't come out here and be with me. We could be so happy. And that was it. I lost my top that day. And that was right around the time when the bird flu was pretty big.
Okay.
Or the swine flu. One of the two. It was the swine flu. Yeah. And, you know, in my not proud moment, I was like, you know what, motherfucker? I hope both of your motherfucking kids get swine flu.
Kids.
I did.
Wow.
That's, I said, not my proud moment, but like that's where my mouth gets when you piss me off like that. And you know what the worst part about that is? A couple months later, she messaged me and she was like, hey, by the way, both of my kids did get the swine flu. And I'm like,
karma.
But they were okay. And I was like, are they okay? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, thank God. Or like, thank Jeebus.
I made a foul joke like that one time to a kid. He kept making fun of my parents and my mom and calling me scumbag, and he very, very sadly, it's not funny at all, lost both of his parents, and he was making fun of mine. I was like, well, at least I got some. Yeah.
I mean, it's funny in retrospect.
And then we fought, and I got exactly what I wanted, but you know, I'm not proud of it, but that's I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'll fucking say some shit I'll attack your character.
Yep. I have no problem. There's a time at work. This is a lot more respectable, I guess. But like I was literally trying to do work. Like, you know, I can't go into super details, but
you're trying to put games in their cases and back on the shelf.
No, this is at the prison.
Oh, maybe we shouldn't tell that one then.
I mean, it doesn't have to do with an inmate. So, okay. But I was working, and like, I guess I was working with an inmate. Like, he was not being cooperative, and I'm trying to get him to cooperate. And as I'm doing this, I have a staff member who's like calling me on the radio and be like, "Oh, hey, yo, call this number." And I call this number, and they'd be like, "Yo, we didn't need you. Why are you calling here?" And he kept doing it every time.
He's pranking you.
Yeah, while I'm in the middle of something that's like potentially serious, you know.
Yeah, where you can, if you're not on your guard, you can get hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he did it for the final time. So I finally got that guy, you know, settled down and whatever. And I went right up to the fucking the bubble where they were at, and I said, "Do you have a fucking problem with me?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm literally doing work here where I could be like, you know, this is for real. This is serious, and you want to keep fucking with me." I was like, "Do you have a problem?" I said, "Get up out of your chair right now. We're gonna settle this like men." And he sat there, and he's like, I said, if that's not cool with you, I said, I'll wait. I mean, we're here at 2 to 10. I said, I'll go after work. I'll meet you on the road outside of this, so it's not on state grounds, and I'll beat your ass there. And he continued to say nothing, just looked down at the ground. I said, listen, if that's not good enough, I'll follow you to your house and beat your ass in front of your wife and kids, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I will make the trip to your house.
Yeah.
Just so you don't have to waste any time. You can go right and hobble yourself in the bed after I'm done kicking your ass. It's cool.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, he sat down. So you know the content of his character. Like, if somebody says something about my wife or my kids, I'm fighting you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
Or
says
he
something
knew
about
he
his
fucked
character.
up, and he's like, all right.
Yeah. And that's the problem is like there with that job, and I think in some jobs in general, it's like people come there and they get a little bit of power, and now they think they're tough shit. When
they have control over humans.
Right. And there were nothing on the streets.
Yeah.
Not that you really have to be anything on the streets, because like whatever. But like, I'm about the life. Like, I will fight you, win, lose, or draw. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll earn my respect one. You know.
I might lose, but you're gonna know you're in one. That's how I always looked at it. Yeah. Yeah. So, book out of the way.
Book out of the way.
Joker done.
It still hurts me thinking about it.
Yeah, we got angry there for a second.
Yeah,
that was cool. Little emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking about the Joker, man, it's just like.
Yeah, and then just the other movies I picked up. I'm waiting for is I'm waiting to watch the new Godzilla. I'm a big monster guy. I like monster movies. And then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but we haven't watched that one yet.
I'm not a big movie guy, but I will say that I gotta do a shout out here to my lovely fiance Kate. My favorite movie ever is Inception.
Okay,
she's never seen it, so we found it, I think on Netflix, and
that's the one with DiCaprio.
Yeah, where they try to go a dream in a dream in a dream. Yeah,
I've never seen it.
Oh my god, you've never seen it?
Yeah,
this interview's over. But like,
just
but it's fantastic, and it's like, because I don't watch a lot of movies because first of all, a lot of them bore me, and I haven't seen any of the Marvel stuff because I'm not a big Marvel guy.
Did you see the trailer to Morbius?
I did not. I just heard about it today.
It just came out today.
Okay.
Jared Leto as am I saying that wrong? Morbius?
Yeah, I think so. But he was Joker, so how is he now Morbius?
He crashed. He it happened.
Okay, it happened. Does it look better than his Joker?
I liked his Joker, but it looks good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see Suicide Squad, I don't think, but like just his image.
I wanted more of the Joker, but we didn't get it because
I heard
they chopped a lot out. But the trailer is confusing because there's some Spider Easter eggs in there, but you don't know what Spider Universe they're hinting at
because there's so many.
And then at the very, very end, his character comes walking out, and he's like, "Ooh, what's up, Doc?" And it's fucking Michael Keaton who played the Vulture. So
what
does it all tie in? Like, it's crazy. Yeah, it's
That's
interesting.
Absurd.
It's interesting.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
And they show him kind of with the vampire face towards the end, and it looks kind of cool. Like,
I hope they make another Venom movie. I actually was able to watch
Venom
that.
2 is coming out.
Oh, good.
And Carnage will be in it.
Really?
Well, Woody Harrelson is playing Carnage.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually watched that for free on my flight back from China.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they had a bunch of
How
movies.
long is that flight?
On the way back it was like 14 hours.
14 hours.
On the way there it was like 17.
You're in a plane for 14 hours.
Yes.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Especially because like that was me in my seat, you know. Yeah. It sucked. But yeah, 14 hours.
I did 4 hours. I couldn't imagine being there for another 10.
It was rough. And on the way there, like I took some Dramamine. That was it.
Yeah.
And
that only lasts 4.
Yeah.
So I think I
ended up sleeping like 6 maybe. So I still had another 11 to stay awake after that. Yeah, it was great. And then, well, okay, I guess the one flight was 14 hours to Shanghai, but our first 4 days were in Beijing. So then we got off Shanghai International and got on another 2-hour flight to Beijing. So in total, it was about 17 and a half hours.
Wow.
But yeah, like it was long.
What's the weirdest thing you did when you were in China? Did you eat like a dog or anything?
I don't know.
Not 100% sure.
You know, that's the first thing that popped in my head. Because I guess I did some some weird things over there. But the weird, there's this street in Beijing called Wang Fujing Snack Street. And it's crazy, man. They have vendors everywhere down the street, both sides. And like the very first vendor on the right-hand side was selling live squid and scorpions. They had the squids just sitting there on the table, and I'm sure if they were alive, they were either dying because there's no water. They were just sitting there on the table. But the scorpions were very much alive, and they were impaled on spikes, but you could see their feet moving. They're moving their tails. Oh, yeah.
They pull the stingers out of them?
Yeah.
So like, they wouldn't hurt you.
Right.
I ate a scorpion one time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they were doing there, frying them. And then so I watched some guy bite into one, it sounded like a potato chip. I'm like, oh.
I ate it just because I could say I ate a scorpion. But mine wasn't like a legit scorpion. It was covered in like candy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that was...
It was crunchy.
Yeah. That was just a scorpion.
Yeah.
And I seen a guy who, and thankfully I didn't see them because I'm a huge arachnophobiac, but a guy had a tarantula on a stick.
What a way to conquer your fear, though. You eat that motherfucker.
Fuck that. But like, you know, so I went up to the shop because I'm smelling all this food they're making, and I'm like, yo, I'm hungry as shit. So I go up there to this one busy store because I was like, this one kind of looks good. So I go up there and I ask him, I'm like, what is this? And he goes, and I was like, what is this? And I had money in my hand, and he just hands me one. And then I give him my money, and he doesn't answer my question.
And then you ate it.
So I'm like, okay. I don't know what the fuck it was. I ate about half of it, and before the fear of I could be eating dog hit me, and then I threw the rest of it out. It was like on a huge skewer, like that big, and I ate like half of it. And I'm like, I don't know what this is, so I can't do any more.
Did you ever see that video where this guy is in China and he's like, "What am I eating?" And the guy just goes, "Meow."
No. I'll tell you what, though.
I'm out of here.
We asked them about that because they used to. They used to eat dog, especially in even in the major cities like Beijing and stuff like that. And the reason being is because they're an agricultural country and they haven't really like developed enough yet to have a wealthy supply of like other meats to eat. So they're like, why are we going to keep dogs as pets when we can eat them? So that's why they used to do it. And now they only do it in like very, very rural areas.
Yeah.
They don't do it in big cities anymore. So because we've seen a bunch of like, especially in Shanghai, we were walking down these streets with all these shops, and there's tons of little dogs everywhere in these stores, and
they're not pet stores.
Not pet stores, no.
Yeah,
no. They were like the one was like a fish market.
Yeah, and there's dogs in cages.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, it wasn't even in a cage. It was just on it had like a little bed on the outside, and it just sat there. And it came up to us when we called, and we pet it and got some pictures with it.
We were like, that dog's not lasting another week.
Probably not. No. I mean, maybe.
Did I ever tell you the story of a lady I used to work with? She went to China. Walked into this store. And
I think you did.
It was like a Pomeranian, and she was like, "Oh, cool!" Like, I'm like, she's like, "How much?" And they told her in yen, and she's like, "That's fucking really cheap." And then she went, but she's like, "I'll buy him," and they're like, "Okay," and they're like, and she's like, they're like, "Come back tomorrow." So she thought it was like a thing, like in China they have to do like America, they do shots and stuff. So she goes back to the room and she's like, well, good, this gives me time. So she goes, I'm gonna buy him, I'll give you the money, but I have to go and make arrangements with my the flight and my company to make sure like if I can fly him back with me. So but I'll give you the money so no one else buys him. And they're like, okay, it's yours. Come, like, and she comes back and they hand her a brown bag, and it was the meat. Yeah, she was fucked up. It fucked her head up. Yeah,
that's rough.
It's hard. I mean, listen, I'm not judging other cultures.
No,
but it'd be really hard. It would fuck my head up a little bit.
Yeah,
the John Wick in me is like twitching.
Yeah, especially like I love my dog, even though she's an asshole. If anybody did anything to my dog,
my dog's an asshole. Just unless you don't know her, like she barks and stuff, but she's fucking awesome. She's super super smart.
And I guess the only other thing that probably could be weird if I say this and give you no context to be weird, if like I got a massage, like a little Asian massage
in China.
Yeah.
Did your wife know about it?
She was there.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, it was
was it happy?
No, kind of.
Yeah,
kind of. We went in there and there was these three three of us went in. Me, Kate, and one of our buddies we met over there, Chevy. Real good dude.
His name is Chevy.
Yeah.
Is he a big guy?
He's probably about my size, maybe a little smaller.
If you have a car name, you got to be a big guy.
He's a good dude. I think that's his nickname.
White guy?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with white guy. He looks like he may be like he has some kind of background in him, but I don't know what it is. Like Middle Eastern, almost look like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Very faint. But so we went into this thing, and it was weird at first because they're like, "Yeah, we can fit all 6 of you guys in." Blah 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 blah. And the one dude, his name was God, I can't remember his name now. Started with a T. He was part of the Ukrainian military.
Toyota.
Yeah, we'll call him Toyota. So Toyota, Toyota's girlfriend, Michelle, was
Mercedes.
fucking nuts. Michelle was nuts, like insane. The one time we went to,
How did you meet them?
We were like there. It was part of the tour group
Oh,
that we were in, and they just were like,
so you had people like who would translate and help you out and stuff.
"Oh yeah, well during the tours we did. When
Okay.
we went off on our own at nighttime, no."
How is it walking around nighttime in China? Is it scary?
No, I brought my knife because I didn't know what it was going to be like. I'm like, yo,
Did you buy a knife while you were there, or
no,
you brought one?
I brought one. I have one.
Like in your travel case?
No, I have to put it in your actual luggage.
Yeah, in your lug. Yeah.
Yeah. So I brought one because I didn't know what it was going to be like. So the first night we were in Beijing, I took it with me because we were walking around like 3 o'clock in the morning.
What if there's a law that you can't carry a knife, and you fucking in your international jail?
I don't know. I didn't really think about it, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it because I don't know what these streets is like.
Yeah.
And like we didn't stay on like a tourist beaten path. Like we went off.
Yeah.
You know. And Chinese people are really nice. The only thing that really makes me weird about their culture is like they don't say excuse me over there. They don't know what that is. If you're in their way and they need to walk there, they're just going to fucking ram into you. And it's not disrespectful. That's Chinese culture. That's what they do. So like here I am, my third day before our tour guide is telling me this, and I'm like, these little fucking Asians, dude. If one more person
Shoulder blocks me.
I'm like, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. And then I said, is there a fucking reason these people are shoulder checking me every day?
Is it because I'm kind of looking like I'm not white?
And she's like, oh, that's just culture here. We understand in America that you say like excuse me and people move out of your way, and that's just not how that works here. And I'm like, okay. So now I don't have to feel like an asshole when I shoulder check somebody to hell.
Yeah.
You know? Because
Just start
y'all
going
are
back.
fucking 5'1", and I am 6'2", 280. I will murder you with a shoulder check.
Well, you're not going to hit him with your shoulder.
Right.
You're
It'll
way
be something
way
else.
taller. So
Yeah.
you were just like cock checking people.
Yeah.
You're
Pretty
just
much.
like, wow, get out of my way.
Yeah.
Just mollywopping the fuck out of people.
Mollywop.
Giving mushroom stamps everywhere.
But yeah, that massage was funny because you know these tiny little Asian girls were doing it, and like she's sitting there and working on like my back, and she takes a break out and she's like, oh, "Strong man, you so strong." And I'm like, "Yeah, you know." But like I got when the girl was doing like my front like up here, and then she was like, "All right, turn over now." And take your shirt off or whatever. So I turned over. When I got up to take my shirt off, the girl that was massaging Kate came up and fucking slapped my ass. And she was like, "Tee," and I'm like, oh, I hope Kate didn't see that.
Is it weird I have a boner? I'm not going to be able to lay on my belly for at least 3 minutes.
But no, she didn't see it. I had to tell her afterwards. She was like, "Oh my God, really?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "That's so funny."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But the whole experience was great. Yeah.
So we got the book out of the way. Got your travel, engagement, baby. So
Yeah.
what else you want to cover today?
Well, music for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I was part of Aaron Charles, and that is kind of over. I want to say, like we've talked about doing stuff, but that's all it's ever gotten to is talk. But now, I have a new project out. Well, not yet. It's gonna be out. I'm waiting for some files, and I got to get into my buddy to record some vocals. But this whole project it's called Death Speaker.
Death Speaker.
Death Speaker, yes. And the idea was pretty like fucked up. How I got the idea for the first song, which actually isn't going to be the first song. I decided on another one to do like the single for.
Yeah.
But the idea came from a song where I was like, okay, so I have to get into, like, I was watching a documentary with Kate. It's called Don't Fuck with Cats.
Oh, yeah, I watched it.
You seen it?
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So, like, that's what happens when you show me something like that. Like, I'm getting, like, these serial killer vibes from this dude.
Yeah.
So I'm like...
If you have not watched Don't Fuck with Cats, wow, go do it. Yeah. It's crazy.
And listen, I don't even fucking like cats. Like, at first I was like, they're just cats.
I don't like cats, but I wouldn't fuck with cats.
I wouldn't fuck with cats either.
And then if I watched someone fuck with a cat, I'd still be angry about it.
Right, because I'm an animal lover, but I like, it's hard to say that. And when I don't like cats, I don't like cats. I think they're fucking bastards. But
some of them are assholes. Some of them are cool.
Would I hurt a cat?
Never.
No, not at all. So after that, I was watching that, and then, you know, like I said, this is going to sound so fucked up, and maybe it is, but I was on the way to a gynecology appointment. Not me, but like for her. For the baby.
Checked?
Yeah, get my vagina checked. For the baby. And
get a lot of sand in there.
Yeah, definitely. And
oh, I'm getting dizzy. No, joking.
I think it's something with my vagina. And like the weather alert went off, and like I guess it wasn't an Amber Alert, but like a missing person alarm went off, and that was, I mean, obviously that's not a joke, and I really hope that everybody that is missing becomes found, you know.
Yeah.
But like, and it wasn't even my idea. She said, "Yo, for that crazy like missing person alarm," she's like, "You could totally use that in a breakdown," and I'm like, yo. So I'm like, okay, writing a song about it. So I wrote a song about it, and it's kind of fucked up. But like with Aaron Charles, even though it's like really heavy and screaming and stuff like that, a lot of the message is positive.
Okay.
You know, like the one song I have, we called it Alexander's Arms, and like, just to give you a sample of like the lyrics, that the one lyric is like, "I won't let you fall behind. This world will do anything it can to bind you down, but with me by your side, we can get through all the obstacles." Like, positive, you know.
Yeah.
And again, I told stuff about stuff that happened to me and tried to make it positive light, and so people can relate to it. And I want Death Speaker to be the absolute opposite of that.
You like fuck the world.
Yeah, not even like fuck the world, but like I haven't ever gotten a chance to really write dark.
Yeah.
And as we were speaking of before, like, here I am, person with mental health, being forced to write positive things. Not forced to write, because that's kind of what I wanted to do at the time. But, like, I was writing positive stuff. And, you know, just kind of middle of the line, if not positive, middle of the line stuff. But, like, I want to be true to myself, you know? And some of the songs are, especially that one that I called it Missing. You can guess what it's about.
Yeah.
Is not a reflection of self, you know, because I feel like you can take ideas and write about them.
Yeah.
But like not like, because in the past, like I said, in my band, I have written about myself.
Mm-hmm. Well, even like for me, you're probably similar. Situations. I'm very like, there's a lot more questions that I would like to ask certain situations, and certain people I would like to talk to about certain situations, and I feel like some of my questions may be disrespectful, but I guess the way I think is just like, I want to know like what that person, but I don't want to bring that person back to a traumatic thing. But like, imagine being someone who was kidnapped, or someone who was in the grips of a serial killer, or someone who was a serial killer. Like, it kind of interests my brain, like what you're going through in that moment. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It kind of, not even like in a sick way that it makes me feel good. Like, no, I'm legit like interested.
Yeah. I had that kind of thought with,
because if you're like think of it, you're like a 14, 15-year-old kid and you get abducted. Like, at what point do you go into fight or flight mode?
Really?
You know what I mean? Like, are you just like, do I just listen? Do I cooperate?
Or like, did you try to fight, and how did that work out for you?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, statistically, and this is not something that's good, but like, most of those people don't come back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is scary.
And sick. Because a lot of them get sold into fucking like sex slaves.
Or they get
organ donors.
Beaten and raped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, by fucking sickos. Yeah, so it's just like one of those things, like, at what point do you like because like you think to yourself like if that was me, I would just jump out the fucking van door. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But you don't know. You don't know what you like that, and that's where I kind of like that.
Could be
like,
bound and gagged. You
exactly.
Could like,
yeah, it's interesting.
I had a similar thought. Again, reading a case file, and about like pedophiles.
Yeah.
And in this particular case file, in this victim statement, this guy said. He was in there for doing sexual things to a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And he said in his victim statement, as soon as I saw that boy, I knew that I had to have him.
Wow.
And like, while 90% of the population would probably instantly say, that man is fucking sick. And granted, he is, but like, your brain doesn't tell you to think those things normally.
Yeah.
So my thought was like, what went wrong?
Yeah.
What happened to his like brain?
What happened to him? Like,
right.
Because a lot of people who are pedophiles were also the victim of sexual assault when they were young.
Yep.
So it's like this weird thing that they have to then take someone else's innocence, but they're not even self-consciously aware of that.
Right.
And then like, and this is not me defending pedophilia at all. Like, I think it's fucking horrible. But on the same token, and this is just my opinion, and this is if someone's offended, I'm sorry, the thumbs down button's there. But like, for a long time, we were very like, fuck serial killers, kill them, you know what I mean? And then we started researching them. And now we have a system of like stuff that people do to then catch those signs before they get there. Mm-hmm. Do I still think they're serial killers? Yes. But do I think it's a lot less now because you can catch those signs early? Like when your fucking 3-year-old or your 10-year-old is fucking killing cats and animals, and you're like, whoa, we need to get him checked now so he doesn't turn into Ted Bundy in 10 years. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's being done with people with pedophile people.
That's true.
And I think it should be something we research. Like, everyone's like, chemically castrate them. And I'm like, maybe, but I also think that should be looked into, and I think we should study more and figure out the thing behind it.
I'm all for chemically castrating people who have already done it, but like for the people who... I read this report one time about pedophiles where this guy was like, he's like, I'm a pedophile, but I haven't committed a crime yet. And he
has an attraction.
And I was like, he has an attraction, and he started like a support group for people who have this attraction but have never done anything. And I'm like, that's a fucking hell of a start. You know what I mean? Because like, if you can get with like-minded people and like almost like an AA meeting, and beat your thoughts down and your like attraction down, and like that's fucking positive for me. Like, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? I'm absolutely cool with that. But more of that needs to happen, and that needs to be socially acceptable. Just like, I mean, like, because we have now in like California and some other states where they're letting people like fucking shoot heroin with nurses present in legal like fucking shoot up areas.
Doing it.
So then why can't
they're thinking about doing it around here.
I heard, like in Wilkes-Barre,
which I'm kind of for.
I'm for it.
Here's my thing. A lot of people are always like, what the fuck, man? We're going to give away fucking Narcan shots for free, but insulin's $500. What the fuck? Don't be mad at the junkie because the fucking pharmaceutical company's overcharging you. You're fighting you're attacking the wrong person.
Yeah.
I have friends who are no longer with us because of heroin.
Me too.
And if I can go back and be like, hey, you're going through something, do you want to go to this place and do it? So if something does go wrong, you're still going to be with us here tomorrow. I would take that opportunity every fucking day of the week, so I have another opportunity to maybe get them clean.
Yeah.
Because I was in not an argument, but a debate with somebody, and they were like, well, that's fucked up. Just don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. And I was like, do you like drinking soda? Yeah. Stop drinking soda tomorrow. Never touch another sugary drink ever again. I guarantee you go through withdrawal.
Mm-hmm. Caffeine's a drug, by the way.
Imagine that on a fucking larger scale, where you're like, you vomit, you get physically sick because you don't have that dependence.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of people who are on those drugs are fucking people who were pushed into medical pills, and now those pills are no longer available. Like, there's a reason why certain like Johnson & Johnson and all these companies are getting sued.
Yep.
You know, and it's I don't know. I'm kind of for the safe place.
You know, and not to the same like effect, but I've been really trying for the past probably 2 weeks now to lower my soda intake. and start drinking more water. I don't normally ever drink any water. Like the first day I started this, I drank 80 fluid ounces of water, and that was 80 more than I had ever drank in the past year, probably.
And you pee like a racehorse.
Oh, yeah.
I pee so much.
Oh, my God. But, like, I'm, like, perpetually fucking tired now because I don't have that fucking caffeine in my system all the time.
You will get... See, I did like a 45-day thing where I only drank water. You're going to get to a point where drinking a glass of water will give you energy.
I hope.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Another thing, too, is every time you drink like a water, if you're starting to feel fatigue, eat an apple.
That would kill me.
Why?
I'm allergic.
Oh, you don't like apples?
I love apples.
Oh.
I'm allergic to them.
What other fruit do you like
Cantaloupe.
that you're not going to die from? Cantaloupe?
Yeah.
Maybe that's kind of hard. Like, you can't fucking pack a cantaloupe.
I know.
Like,
But that
a banana, a fucking
that
peach.
shit sucked. That shit sucks so much. Like the reason, you know how I found out I was allergic to apples because I ate one day because I used to eat them almost every day, and then I was like, is there one stuck in my throat? And my throat literally closed up.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, it was great. It's fantastic.
So, what are some of your plans with this band that you want to get to?
Well, see, here's the crazy thing about it is like I'm just a vocalist.
The interviews that everybody will sidetrack stories. We always get there. Yeah.
I am just a vocalist, as people know. Like I'm learning to play guitar. I can actually kind of play Psychosocial by Slipknot on guitar. Kind of.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of easy. So that's not a super accomplishment, but these fucking burps, man.
The beer burps.
Yeah. So the idea is that because I'm just a vocalist, I can only do so much: write lyrics and sing or scream. So I've enlisted the help of some local guitarists from different bands. Every track is going to have a different guitarist on it. There's going to be only like maybe 5 or 6 songs. But so far, I can give you kind of like a hint of who I got so far. So far, we have obviously Zach Campbell from Aaron Charles. We're going to have Jim Thomas and Brandon Fody of The Hands Resist. They're both writing songs for us, for one song for me.
You try Andy Hare?
I did not. I do need a 6th, so maybe I will.
Another good guitarist who's trying to do some more heavier stuff, Tyler Smarr from Bad Maggie.
Okay.
Brent Reber, he's not in a, he's kind of like reforming a new band right now. So there's a lot of awesome guitarists I could throw out your way that maybe just we'll record a track with you.
Yeah.
Billy Trey.
Yeah. So who are the other ones that I have? There's a possibility that this band they're pretty local. I think they're from like Harrisburg area. They're called Flesh of the Lotus.
I've never heard of them.
They're like slam deathcore type stuff.
Yeah, I'm still like very out of the loop when it comes to that genre. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying it's not my go-to, but I don't hate on it. Yeah.
And there's a possibility that Hunter Heilig from that band will be doing a track. I also have God, I'm like drawing a blank. My buddy Sam, who lives with me, he's doing one.
Sam
McCavin is his last name.
Okay.
He started writing some stuff for us in Aaron Charles, but then it just kind of like we fell through, so he stopped writing.
Yeah.
But he has an 8-string at the house that we play sometimes, so that's gonna be heavy as balls.
Yeah.
And then the newest confirmation that I just got for guitar is Eddie Collins.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I love Eddie.
Yeah. So
What a sweetheart.
it's like kind of like a dream project for me, really. Like it gets me the opportunity to finally be the dark, the twisted, like this is your mental health.
Yeah.
Normally vocals, lyrics.
Everybody needs therapy.
Right.
My therapy is what you're seeing right here. So
Exactly.
if that helps you clear your mind, go for it.
And it's also like a sweet showcase of all the local talent, because all these, like I wouldn't have asked these people to do this if I didn't think that it would be fantastic, and like that I appreciate what they do for the local scene. Eddie, Chris, Hunter, all these different people. Like there's just so many good guitarists, and like I feel almost out of it, but I also know that there's really not a scene here anymore. Like Aaron Charles went away.
Maybe not a heavier scene, but there's definitely a music scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but like people used to go to the shows to see Aaron Charles, to see Now the City, like to see these bands. And like I know Crowbot is huge now, and that's fucking awesome. But like I feel like the heavy aspect, because that's my lifeblood is heavy, you know. And
I think the only thing you really have is the Hands Resistant, Faith in Exile.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, and you know,
And they're both like the same band for the most part. Most members are all
kind of
in both. Yeah.
There was a time I remember, I don't know, a couple years back, where a buddy of mine that was in a different band was like arguing with this woman on Facebook about genres of music, and I seen it and I was like, all right, I'm gonna comment on this shit. So I comment on it and she's like, no, you're fucking wrong, like what do you know about music anyway? And then somebody comments and was like, you realize who you're talking to, right? Like, this man is like the face of music in heavy music in 570. Like, you realize who you're talking to, right? And I'm like, I was very humbled by that, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. Like, I don't know if I agree with you, but like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because there's, I don't know. I miss it. I feel like I'm out of the loop with it, if there isn't even a loop to be in. And I like, this is all those things combined, and just me being able to be a part of something again. You know, I'm 30 years old now, showing people I still got it.
Yeah.
You know, and showcasing local talent too, because that's like,
That sounds like
it's just
good
a
time.
dream.
And if you put a show together, you can have each person kind of come up and play.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that would be awesome. I hope that everybody's schedules would be good for that.
Yeah,
and
it's
I would
tough.
love to. But
Yeah.
I mean, if it ends up just being like
Like one guy playing it.
one guy playing it, or like just like
Whoever
an
can make
online
it.
project,
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. Like,
Yeah.
I just need it to be out. I want there to be for that to be out there. And I will say that, like I said, even though the album is going to be darker and stuff like that, one song is going to be, you know, dedicated to the people that I lost last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, namely my friend Ryan from work, and Dennis, who so many people around here know. Great guy. So, you know, rest in peace to those two. And I miss them both. Like, fuck. I miss them both.
So, in closing, anything you want to get out there? Plug?
No, I guess, you know, I just want to remind people that don't drink and drive, first of all. Second of all, the book, TSOEW book. That's what you can @ me on Facebook, or just search in the Saga of Eternal War. You know, keep a lookout for, right now, I don't have a Facebook page or anything for Death Speaker, because this is actually the first time that I'm saying the name of the band out loud.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Exclusive.
yeah. Damn, son, where'd you find this? You know?
That's the first time I used it. Pretty excited about that.
So there was that. I don't have a Facebook page made for that yet, and I'm not exactly sure if I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I may just use my own personal Facebook and then put it up on Spotify and stuff like that when it finally comes out. But yeah, you know, just the normal stuff that I like to plug. I'm not even going to do my Twitch thing because I'm not really even streaming right now. But if you want to check out the stream, when I do stream, it's twitch.tv/Denaari. That's DENAARI. But just like I said, just the normal stuff, man. If I'm out here, you know, if anybody needs any help, I know I'm not a fucking psychologist, but if you're going through a tough time, man, please talk to somebody.
Yep.
Call. There's the suicide hotline. Call me. Look me up on Facebook. Do something, because like I said, I lost two very, very, very important people to me last year, and I know it wasn't from anything like that, but like I want people to know that there's somebody out there that will listen to their
And
problems.
this, if you ever want to come on and just talk, this platform's always available. And if you don't want to do it recorded, just come and hang out, just talk. The table's always open.
Absolutely.
But
Other than that, I got nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I
appreciate you coming through again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime you want, man. It's always here. I always tell people they don't ever take me up on it, but a few people do.
I love it.
Yeah, 2020 is gonna be a cool year. We have a lot going on. Just hit that subscribe button and keep following us. If you're someone who does listen to just the video, definitely go check out the audio stuff, because there's a lot of bonus episodes. Especially if you're a fan of the other shows, there's stuff that's on there that you may not know exists. There's stuff that we just do audio only. It's like exclusive to the audio stuff. And then we do like unboxings, what's exclusive to the video. So we have a lot of neat stuff. But yeah, definitely go check that out. And merch store, you can go grab some cool stuff, and then check out the links below for his stuff. And we appreciate your support. We love you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. See you.
Yeah.
Living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time.
Athletic at the peak of my life. Slipped a couple times, I was speeding on ice. Never took a risk, then you cheating your life. You never took a risk, then you cheating your life. It's a hole in my heart, probably never be filled. And part of me thinks it'll never be healed. I lost some of my family to the dope. Overflow my mind with positive vibes, that's how I cope. They ask if I stop, I tell them no. Speak foul on my name, clean your mouth out with soap. I'm crying right now while I'm writing this shit. I'm dying inside just from fighting this shit. Amidst all the darkness, I see light in this bitch. Give me one small spark and I'm igniting this bitch.